Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into some of the most common security threats that web applications face, and how you can protect your site from these dangers. Think of your website like your digital storefront, open 24/7, accessible from anywhere in the world. Now imagine all the ways someone might try to break in, steal data, or just cause chaos. In this video we'll break down these threats one by one, and give you the tools and knowledge to build a fortress around your website. Let's get started. First up, we've got SQL injection, or SQLI for short. This is a classic attack that targets your website's database, the heart and soul of your application. Imagine someone sneaking malicious code into a seemingly harmless form field, like your login page. This code can manipulate the SQL queries that interact with your database, potentially giving the attacker access to sensitive information like user credentials, financial data, you name it. But how do you prevent this? 2 words. Parameterized queries. Think of these as predefined statements that tell your database exactly what kind of data to expect, making it much harder for malicious code to slip through. SQLI is a real threat, but with the right precautions, you can keep your data safe and sound. Next up is cross-site scripting, better known as XSS. This attack is all about injecting malicious scripts into your web pages, which are then executed in the browsers of unsuspecting visitors. Imagine a hacker injecting a script that steals cookies stored in a user's browser. These cookies often contain sensitive information like login sessions, allowing the attacker to hijack their account. So how do you protect yourself? Sanitize your inputs. That means treating all user-supplied data as potentially dangerous and validating it before processing or displaying it. Another crucial step is implementing a strict content security policy, or CSP. This tells browsers which sources of content are allowed to load on your website, making it much harder for attackers to inject their malicious scripts. It's like setting boundaries for what's allowed to run on your website. Now let's talk about cross-site request forgery, or CSRF. This attack exploits the trust that a web application has in a user's browser. Here's how it works. Imagine a user is logged into their bank account, and they accidentally click on a malicious link. This link could be disguised as something harmless, but it actually sends a hidden request to the bank's website, performing an action without the user's knowledge or consent. But don't worry, there's a way to fight back. Anti-CSRF tokens. These are unique, unpredictable, and secret tokens that are generated by the server side of the web application and transmitted to the client. When the user submits a request, the server verifies that the request includes the correct token, ensuring that the request originated from a legitimate source. Ever heard of clickjacking? It's like a digital illusionist tricking users into clicking something they never intended to. Imagine a transparent layer placed over a legitimate button, making you think you're clicking play on a harmless video, but you're actually authorizing a malicious action in the background. Attackers can use this technique to steal clicks, hijack user interactions, or even gain unauthorized access to your webcam or microphone. But don't worry, you can protect yourself and your users from these sneaky tactics. One way is by implementing the X-frame options header. This tells the browser whether or not your website can be displayed within a frame, effectively preventing clickjacking attempts. Another technique is using frame-busting scripts. We've all seen it, that little padlock in the address bar. That's HTTPS, and it's not just some fancy tech jargon. It's the difference between your data traveling the web like a postcard, open for anyone to read, and sending it in a secure, encrypted envelope. HTTPS stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, and it's all about protecting the communication between your browser and the website you're visiting. Today, having HTTPS on your website isn't just a good practice, it's essential. Let's talk about CORS, or Cross-Origin Resource Sharing. In the world of web development, it's not uncommon for websites to fetch resources like images, scripts, or data from different domains. CORS is like a security guard at the door, deciding who can enter and access those resources. It's a mechanism that allows or restricts web pages from making requests to a different domain than the one they originated from. Without proper core configuration, you could be opening up your site to potential vulnerabilities. But when configured correctly, CORS acts as a gatekeeper, allowing legitimate requests from trusted domains while blocking unauthorized access. Imagine a world where you could send information between different parts of your application or even across the internet, knowing that it's secure and tamper-proof. That's the power of JSON Web Tokens, or JWTs. These tokens are like digital passports containing a set of claims or statements about an entity, such as a user or an application. These claims are digitally signed, ensuring their authenticity and integrity. Instead of storing session information on the server, you could issue a JWT containing user ID and other relevant details. By signing these tokens with a secret key, you can ensure that any tampering will be detected, preventing unauthorized access or modification. In the digital age, data is king, but with great data comes great responsibility. The responsibility to protect it. That's where encryption comes in. Encryption is like the digital equivalent of a bank vault, scrambling your data into an unreadable format that can only be unlocked with the right key. We're not just talking about protecting sensitive information like passwords and credit card numbers. Encryption is crucial for safeguarding all kinds of data, from customer records and financial transactions to intellectual property and proprietary code. If your data is lost or stolen, encryption acts as the last line of defense, rendering it useless to anyone who doesn't have the decryption key. It's like having a secret code that only you and authorized parties can understand. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tech tips and tutorials. Stay secure. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the sneaky tricks of SQL injection to the importance of encrypting your data. Remember, building a secure website is an ongoing process, but by understanding these common threats and implementing the right security measures, you can significantly reduce your risk. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and keep those websites secure.